Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. That was one long minute.
I know.
Welcome to Unity of Lehigh Valley on this sunny day. After the rain comes the sun, but we need both. And that's my metaphysical message for this morning. If you will rise, as you're able, we'll open with our opening song, I Claim a Blessing, which we have today. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine. Break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I lift my thoughts to higher ground, knowing miracles abound. Each day unfolds just as it should, when I'm focused on the good. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Thank you. And thank you for singing the melody. As you know, I'm a bass and I'm not familiar with them.
Good morning. To open our service, I have our opening prayer. So get comfortable in your chairs, maybe take a breath. We say, great and gracious God, we gather today to seek peace and to find peace. Peace in our heart, our minds, our lives, and the world. I remember love is always loving me. I remember to be kind to all. I see the light of awareness that is in everyone's essence. I pause to behold their basic goodness and how it shines through each of us. For this gift of love and longing, I am very grateful. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Rick. So good morning to everyone joining us in person and online today. Welcome to Unity of Lehigh Valley. My name is Ginny, and today I have the pleasure of assisting Reverend Ron Karstetter and our music leader, Mark Udemoser. We appreciate each one of you and want to ensure you have a wonderful experience here today. To our friends online, thanks for tuning in, and if you feel so led, please share the message with others. And at the end of the service, please let us know if there is anything we can do to enhance your experience. Well, today, as I look around, I see many familiar faces of those whom I've grown to love and cherish here. Thanks for your presence today and for creating a safe and welcoming environment here at ULV. So, our statements of affirmation. Our lives are made up of many steps and many choices. But our journey is also shaped by the things that we choose to believe and say out loud. Our affirmative statements express our beliefs as well as the vision and mission of Lehigh Valley Unity. I invite those in the sanctuary and online to join me as we speak these statements aloud. Together we affirm, there is only one presence, one power, one activity in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence. We co-create an awakened world of peace, harmony, and abundance. United in love, we provide a positive environment for all people to discover and express their spiritual nature. Yes, we do. Thank you. So, announcements. For October, spiritual growth is the core value that we celebrate. Trusting the wisdom within each one, our paths unfold and lead us to accept a deeper understanding of the powerful love that we are. We have several pieces of community news to share. Please join us for the healing service today at 11:15. Next Sunday, October 22nd, will be our youth and family service. Please see Reverend Ron or Alicia if you know a young person who would like to read the daily word. We will have a community dialogue meeting on Sunday, October 29th, immediately following the Sunday service. This will be an in-person only and an opportunity for some community updates and to share your thoughts on all things at ULV. So please put that on your calendar. Now, on our 2023 service goods and auction, it was a huge success, bringing in over $2,700. We want to thank all who donated goods and services and all who purchased items. Bid winners are posted in the fellowship area, and each winner will receive a notification of the total cost that's due. Those who donated should connect with the bid winners to organize the service date. There are a few goods that were not bid upon. Donors are asked to please pick those items up, and they're downstairs. Again, we want to express gratitude to all who participated, making this a successful event. When making your check payments, please put in the memo line for the service auction. Reverend Julie Vance will be with us on Saturday, November the 4th, leading a class entitled Trusting Your Inner Spirit. That will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Let me go to my next page so I can read this fully. All right. So in the class, discover how to recognize the voice of the inner spirit. Learn to release obstacles to follow our inner spirit guidance. Experience simple, practical ways to connect more deeply with our inner spirit. Suggested love offering is $35. Registration is now open on Eventbrite, which is on our website classes and events page, and on the sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary. Our fall calendar is quickly filling up. Please sign up for our weekly emails and regularly check the calendar and classes and events page for our website for the complete listing of what's going on, meetings, classes, and events. I would also like to add that today I have 2 free tickets to give to someone who might like to go to Symphony Hall to hear Brahms music at 2 o'clock. So see me after church if you would like them. Now, for those seeking prayer, we have a prayer chaplain in service with us each Sunday. Today, that prayer chaplain is, of course, Rick Stober. Thank you, Rick. Each Sunday, our prayer chaplain will provide the opening prayer immediately following the opening music. They'll hold a sacred space during the service. They'll bring the prayer box up front near the end of the service to explain what's happening with the prayer requests and ask the congregation to join in blessing the requests. And this person will also be available for one-on-one prayer after the service. So many thanks to both Reverend Joey Barry for helping to reinvigorate our prayer chaplain ministry here, and to the prayer chaplains who have joined in this effort. You can submit your prayer requests through the prayer request form on the website. You may also place your prayer request in the prayer box at the back of the sanctuary on the table. Our prayer partners at Silent Unity are available to pray with you 24/7 at 1-800-NOW-PRAY, or you could email your prayer request to Silent Unity at unity.org/request-prayer. You got that. You can also use Unity's Be Unity app. So as we continue to search for our new music director, we invite you to hold this affirmation, and let's read it together. Are we up there? So, filled with a spirit of divine love and wisdom, we are guided and directed in our thoughts, our words, and our actions in faith, giving thanks that the right music director, who brings harmony and inspiration through the gift of music, is drawn to us with grace and ease for the highest good of this ministry. And so it is. All right, so now we are going to have a song, I Am So Blessed.
As soon as I find it. If you will rise as you're able one more time, we'll sing. This goes 3 times.
Good morning. Wouldn't one of you like to read the daily word? There's a sign-up sheet in the back. Step up or I'm going to have to force you. Our daily word for today, Sunday, September 15th, is generous. And our affirmation is the abundance of the world flows through me. Can we all say that together? The abundance of the world flows through me. I am securely in the flow of prosperity when I receive graciously and gratefully and share my abundance generously. Whatever I share with a loving, giving heart blesses me as much as it blesses the one who receives it. Each time I share of my supply, I am demonstrating my trust that I will always have what I need. When I share of myself, I am living my faith that I am a divine being empowered with a limitless supply of divine ideas. The richness of an abundant universe flows through me. Knowing this, I don't hesitate to be generous so others will know the abundance of the world as I know it. Through my giving, may they also know the blessings of the awesome power and grace of God as they bless me daily. And from the scriptures, 1 Corinthians 2 through 12, now that we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit that is from God, so that we may understand the gifts bestowed on us by God.
I have made a decision about my life. It may be a strange surprise to some. I have always thought I wanted what another wants, but it's to a different conclusion that I've come. I see water rushing through an I see snowfall floating high up on a hill. I see an eagle soaring to the red horizon. And I know that's how I am meant to live. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will carry me to be free. Oh, to be free. You won't see me playing any kind of lottery. You won't catch me wishing on a falling star. You will find me wherever I am called to be, wherever kindness and beauty are. For I think of all mankind as my family, this entire precious planet as my home. So let others build their walls and boundaries. I will fly above them all, even if I must go alone. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will carry me to be free. Oh, to be free. When I hear a child singing, when I see a dolphin swimming, when I watch a dancer moving like the wind, it's a calling, it's a vision, it's a voice, and I must listen. So today, this very day, I'm stepping in. Oh, I need to be free. I will go where the wind will carry me to be free. Oh, to be free.
Thank you, Mark. Let's take a moment to drop into stillness and hold one another, all of those we hold dear, and our world in the light. I'm particularly mindful this morning of the people in the Middle East. And let your heart go wherever it leads to send light and love. Amidst the swirl of life's challenges, fears, and even moments of crisis, we take time to look within and to see the vastness there, allness, goodness, love, God, which is no further than our center. We remember in this moment in time that this is but a flicker, but not an inconsequential flicker. For what we do and think now does matter. Our work is to let the debris of this world pass by, while we anchor ourselves in what we know is true: love, compassion, kindness, and caring for this precious life, this precious planet, and all that calls this place home. This is our North Star, love as our guide. And with that, how can we possibly go wrong? And so in this moment and in this place, we find love. Love in our hearts, love for the broken down, love for the lonely, love for the fearful, love for those yet to feel whole, love for those in between, love for the displaced, love for those out of our reach. In this moment and in this place, may we find love, add love, and be love in this world. Amen. So today we continue our Unity series based on the book Touching the Gold, Uncovering Your Natural Goodness by Tara Brach. And I've mentioned as in the past that this book is divided into 3 themes: truth, love, and freedom, that explore the basic teachings of the Buddha that awaken us to who we are. And in that order, because that is the pathway to a life that we can love no matter what, which is our true freedom. We begin bringing Unity teachings in each week to show how it aligns with this Buddhist teaching. We began the series learning to recognize the capital T truth of our experience by opening to life just as it is, with an awareness of our divinity in the midst of it all. From this Unity perspective, and borrowing a line from a favorite poem of Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore's, God is my all. I know no fear, for God and love and truth are here. Earlier in the series, we were invited to consider marginalized groups of people from the perspective of both dominant and non-dominant populations. Brach wrote of her experience processing systemic racism in this country that goes back generations, and how she and we perhaps fall short in acknowledging and honoring the divine in all people, and the discussion and discernment about what is ours to do, individually and communally, isn't over until we co-create a world that works for everyone. Last week, we began to look at how to awaken our inherent capacity to meet this ever-changing life with love. And today we continue this love theme. Love, that harmonizing power, that attribute of God that is within us, through us, as us. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that the nature of God is to express, and so what transformation is possible? In my consciousness first, and then in the collective consciousness, as we live in this awareness of love, of goodness, at the center of all of life, at the center of our lives. What does divine love in action require of us? Can I have the next slide, please? In this week's reading from Touching the Gold, Brach writes of her awakening awareness that each life matters, is precious, and is a part of us, and that in knowing that, we are friends. And she asks us to consider how this lived awareness of our mutual belonging might radically impact how we live our lives. This on the screen is a quote by Hildegard of Bingen, a 12th century mystic in the Catholic Christian tradition. Everything that is in the heavens, on earth, and under the earth is penetrated with connectedness, penetrated with relatedness. Oneness is at the core of our Unity teaching. Our first 2 principles, one power, all good, omnipresence. And because God is all good, and we are one with that of God, we have a spark of the divine within us, and are ourselves inherently good. That we, meaning all of creation, human and non-human, there is within all life a natural or inherent goodness, even when who or what may not show up in its highest and best expression. We speak often about being the change we want to see in the world, our 5th principle. It begins with us and our openness to see differently, of presencing the divine in all, beginning with ourselves, with a heart-centered knowing of a deeper truth. That truth is that love, light, goodness, godness flows through us, as us, connecting with all of life. And everything in that is sacred Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit. And so as we move through this world of seeming separation, we have opportunity after opportunity to practice the presence, to see the divine in all aspects of life, to see through whatever illusion is within or before us, any dis-ease of body, mind, or spirit, any sense of lack or limitation, any hierarchy, power overstructure, or system that diminishes another, that holds another down or back. And that can begin right here and right now. And so I invite you to know this with me, breathing into your heart. I am a part of all that is good. You are a part of all that is good. We are a part of all that is good. A simple pause with an affirmation like this builds on itself and increasingly calls us to presence in all of the moments and interactions of our lives. If we can see beyond the changing moods, behaviors, and personalities of the human condition, there is an opening for us to recognize the light that is our essence, which creates an opening for us to see the light in others and in all of life. And so this week's readings invite us to consider our connection with the animal world and the natural world. Brock writes that as she came into this awareness of the interconnectedness and interdependence of all of creation, that she felt a reverence for all of life. She writes, in our contemporary world, we are conditioned to value some beings more than others, and certainly to consider human animals as more valuable than non-human ones. Yet this creation of hierarchy separates us from the living web of life that constricts and numbs our hearts. We awaken to our interconnectedness by attending to the vulnerability of all creatures and to the shared sentience and love of being alive. We are made of the same elements, all from the same mysterious source. She came into that awareness that each life matters, is precious, is part of me, and in that I am never alone. And taking it a step further, she writes of a sweet sense of belonging to a world of living beings who are not simply the object of our enjoyment or consumption, but like us, are aware and feeling. There's a connection here with the early Unity movement. As Unity was growing, people outside of the movement were asking what Unity believed. And Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore was hesitant to compose a creed or statement of faith because he saw his consciousness as always expanding. However, in 1921, he did compose a 32-point statement of faith with the caveat, I reserve the right to change my mind. And while the statement of faith didn't stick, because Charles changed his mind, one of the tenets read, we believe that all life is sacred and that man should not kill nor be a party to the killing of animals for food. Also that cruelty, war, and wanton destruction of human life will continue as long as men kill animals for food. This is a very strong statement. And there was an early dedication to vegetarianism in Unity. And while the tenet of the faith did not stick, the consciousness around the sacredness of all of life did. Myrtle and Charles Fillmore were vegetarians and Unity owned a vegetarian restaurant in Kansas City, Missouri in the early to mid-1900s that was very well attended, in the same block as the First Unity Church at 913 Tracy Street. There is no black and white answer in Unity around the sacredness of all of life in vegetarianism, but your inner guide, or the Christ of your being, can provide some light for your own discernment. But Brock offers, as she brought to mind all the animals of the world, human and non-human, that her heart's response was, we are friends, each life matters, is precious, and is a part of me. And so here are two reflections that Brock offers in the book around our and your connection with non-human life. And this is some of your homework, should you choose to accept it. But I'm also going to ask you to drop into your hearts right now for a moment as I share these two practices with you. So breathing into your center. The first reflection. The next time you walk outside, you might try this experiment. When a living being draws your attention, a dog, a squirrel, a bird, a tree, or an insect, pause and say to yourself gently and sincerely, "We are friends." And notice if your heart opens to the truth of your connectedness. And the second reflection, are there animals who are in some way threatened or suffering that you feel particularly connected with? Maybe dogs or cats abandoned in shelters, animals being raised for slaughter, or gorillas or elephants threatened by poachers and habitat loss, or deer and fox and other wildlife that find themselves living in more rural settings as land is developed. Allow yourself to get close to them by imagining what life might be like for them. Sense how they, like you, want to live their lives fully and freely. Then offer your heartfelt prayer for their relief. Continue that as you go back into your lives this week and see how there's a shift in your consciousness, in your awareness, in your connection with all of life. Brock writes that it is in the safe haven of belonging to others that we can begin to discover the sanctuary of peace that dwells within our own being. That said, as we move through life, we have experiences of fear, of loss, and grief, and not just our own and those we love, but also of the collective. And so how do we stay grounded in truth and love and live from an awareness of our natural goodness and love no matter what? Brock mentions two spiritual practices that can bring us back to center, the rain meditation and prayer. Could I have the next slide, please? When you are caught in difficult emotions, Brock writes that the rain meditation can bring you back to a wise and compassionate presence. RAIN is an acronym for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. And the process is very simple. Recognize what is happening. Mentally whisper whatever you are aware of, fear, anger, hurt, shame. And allow whatever you are feeling to be here without judging it, trying to fix it, or ignoring it. Simply pause and let it be. You might whisper, "This too belongs." And then investigate with curiosity. Feel into your body, discover where the emotions live inside of you. You might gently place a hand wherever feelings are strongest. Sense what is needed or being asked for right now. Is it love, forgiveness, acceptance, understanding? And then nurture. Offer care to feelings of vulnerability, hurt, or fear. You can imagine this coming from your own awake heart or from another being you trust and love. And then after the rain, take some time in stillness, sensing the quality of presence that has unfolded, and notice any shift from when you started. This simple practice nurtures self-compassion, feeling the pain fully, bathing it in love, and leading back to that compassionate awareness that there is always here at our center and at the center of all life, a goodness, a love, a wholeness. Can I have the next slide, please? In writing about prayer, the book quotes poet John O'Donoghue, an Irish poet, in which he says, "Prayer is the bridge between longing and belonging." Brock writes, "Prayers of longing soften the solidity of self. They create a porousness, a receptivity to the loving presence that is available to us, whether we remember it or not. When we become humble, undefended, and available, we are open to directly knowing our belonging to that love. We are communing with a boundless field of love that is calling us home. And in time, like a river releasing itself into the ocean, we release ourselves into a larger belonging." From a Unity perspective, Unity Minister Eric Butterworth wrote on prayer, "Where does God come in?" Well, God doesn't come in because God never went out, Butterworth writes. Unity prayer is the consciousness of the allness of life, allness referring to God. We live and move in allness, in the cosmic God in the universe. And the cosmic process is always working to produce the highest and best outcome. As we live in harmony with it, it brings us into an awareness of our oneness with all that is. It brings us into an awareness of the radical, wonderful truth of what is. And so these two spiritual practices, the rain meditation and centering prayer, to add to your toolkit when you drift from your center and forget that I, you, and we are a part of all that is good. Can I have the next slide, please? Lots to process. And as I begin to wrap up with a deep community breath, I invite you to drop into stillness right now, to connect with your heart, to connect with divine love, to connect with your inherent goodness. And if your heart, mind, your consciousness is not in alignment with God or good this morning, due to a sense of fear, anger, loss, limitation, whatever it is that has momentarily caused you to forget the divine I am that you are, you've come to the right place. Because we are here as community to remind each other that there is no place to go to get more God. All Godness, all goodness, all light and all love, right here and right now, at your center, which is God. Hear these words of Jesus, our master, teacher, and way shower from the Gospel of Matthew. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Breathe into those words, come to me, which metaphysically means to go within, to your heart, to know that of God within. As we connect with our natural goodness, as we walk in alignment with Spirit, we find rest for our souls. We open to a heart-centered experience of that timeless essence, that loving awareness, that Godness at the ground of our being and all around us in all human and non-human life. Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. We are divine love, living and breathing itself into existence. Can I have the next slide, please? And so I invite you to know this with me. I enter into the stillness to align myself with the one mind, the one presence that permeates all of creation. I feel myself as a part of this creation, connected to all of nature. I am the light and darkness. I am the oceans and the land. I am the rocks and trees, the fish and birds, the beasts of the earth. And I am one with every human being and with all of life on this planet. In this awareness of oneness, I sense the order of all things. I feel the divine love that moves in me and in every molecule of the cosmos. I know the divine intelligence that is the foundation of all this, all that is or ever will be. I am one with all. And in this consciousness, may we know that we are friends. And may we trust and live from the purity of our boundless, radiant heart. And may we hold hands as we awaken together, bringing our shared caring to this precious, troubled, mysterious, and beautiful world. Deep community breath. And with that, we move into a time of meditation to integrate some of these many words. And we begin with the song, Only Believe.
Join with me where you are. Only believe. are possible. Only believe.
Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe.
Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. Only believe.
Only believe.
All things
Are possible. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. So, with a deep community breath, we turn within consciously to that inner presence, which is pure spirit, lovingly acknowledging and releasing any tension in the body. And the same with any passing thoughts. Allowing the breath to bring us back to the awareness of this present moment in which time and eternity intersect. Breathing into this moment, we know that we are immersed in the infinite. And we enter this depth of our being which has never been hurt, confused, or anxious. And we accept the wholeness in which we are eternally rooted. We embrace this unity of all being and consciousness and embody it in expression as we accept the quiet action of God through us, right here and right now. We awaken in this moment to a new birth of freedom, in the consciousness that Godness fills every area of our lives as we come into agreement with it. And so we enter into its perfection, harmony and love right here and right now, in the depths of our hearts and in the sacredness of the silence. with a deep heart-centered community breath. We see our world in the light of God's love, blessing each life, human and non-human, and establishing all in compassionate treatment of one another, healing any confusions. There is no situation in our lives or in the world that God's action cannot make right as we come into agreement with it. And so a deep breath of gratitude for that awareness of God in the midst of all of life. And as we bring our attention back to this time and space, we carry that with us. And in union with this truth, we enter into full vitality and power that is the freedom of God that is within us, seeking expression through us, as us. And we claim it here and now. And so it is. Peace be with you, friends, and namaste.
Now, at a time of our service for the celebration of giving, we're grateful for the offerings and gifts that you bring to Unity of Lehigh Valley. At our website, unityoflehighvalley.org, you can contribute by clicking the Donate button at the top of the navigation bar. You can also send a check to Unity of Lehigh Valley or set up a weekly or a monthly contribution directly from your bank. For those of you here now in the sanctuary, you may leave your offering in the back in the silver bowl. If you have any questions about donating, please contact ULV by phone or mail. So let's bless the gifts together by affirming. The activity of Spirit through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen.
And as we bless our gifts, we also bless these prayer requests. Know that the prayer chaplains will be praying with you and over these for the next week, and they will be forwarded to Unity, the Silent Unity, and they will be prayed for 30 days. And so we know that even as the requests are made, the answers are there and are complete for our best and highest good. Amen.
Thank you all for joining us today, both in person and online. Thank you for sharing your gifts of time, talent, and treasure, your gifts of presence, each one and all helping to co-create this sacred container in which all are welcomed as expressions of the divine. And so let's breathe into the gift of this moment one more time. Here we are, together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one, to embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story, a story of oneness in which we all have a part. And until we are back together again, friends, may you be blessed and a blessing. Amen.
And now if you'll rise and form our ever-expanding circle. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.